Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
आइए बैठिए. Good to see you in person, eh?
You've decided to come and see us in person.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, you're a MBBS doctor.
Yes, sir.
Are you practicing somewhere?
No, sir. I just completed my internship MBBS last month.
Oh, you just completed, is it?
Yes, sir.
Acha. And what is your specialization?
Sir, in MBBS we do all the 29 subjects.
Okay.
And I have to specialize in post graduation.
In post-graduation.
Yes, sir.
Okay, chaliye, good. And the IPS is your first preference, right?
Yes, sir.
Chaliye.
Okay.
So, Doctor Sir, why do you prefer IPS?
Sir, there are three prime reasons for it. Sir, I have been and I'm very passionate about police and policing as a service. Sir, secondly, my maternal uncle has been a source of inspiration. He has been an IPS officer in Punjab. So thirdly, I believe police services provides tremendous challenges and also opportunities to work in specialized fields of crime prevention and law and order, which I have a keen interest in, sir.
But when did this came to your mind, that aptitude for policing, because you had already joined medicine?
So since beginning, I had a dream to join civil services, but after seeing my maternal uncle as well and exploring more about policing and policing as a service, sir, I had turned my inclination.
Then why did you join medicine? If since beginning this was the aptitude,
Yes, sir.
you would have simply BA.
So I was good at science in 10th, so sir, I chose this path towards my final dream, sir.
Acha, how can your knowledge of MBBS be helpful if you become an IPS officer in discharging your responsibility as a police officer?
Sir, my knowledge of forensic science and forensic jurisprudence, so also my traits which I brushed up of empathy and compassion and emergency duties in COVID. So I think that would help me discharge my duties in police administration as well.
What else?
Sir, my innovation and use of technology, sir, emergency decision making and public dealing that I learned in my
What is
internship
innovation?
duties. So it would be solving a problem innovatively with different types of solutions.
What is that innovative? What is that? How will you define innovation?
So by using creative solutions in problem solving, that would be, sir, innovative for me.
All right. What is tertiary prevention?
So there are three types of prevention: primary, secondary, and tertiary. Sir, tertiary, sir, primary would be, sir, right at the grassroots level. The first reference, the exposure of public, that is primary. Sir, secondary would be, sir, after the primary prevention, the person is prone to a disease, and secondary. So third is after the acquire of the disease, he is not the death is tertiary prevention. After the acquirement of disease, he is not
Would
prone
it
to other
not
secondary
help you in
disease.
discharging your police functions?
Yes, sir.
The same strategy, like you treat a disease,
Yes, sir.
will it help you treat a problem in the society?
Yes, sir. I think crime is also a disease, and police have the responsibility of treating the crime as a disease. So I think by a graded response, the disease can be cured of crime.
What is an adversarial system of adversarial judicial system?
So I'm not aware of it.
Okay. And what is inquest?
So inquest or police inquest is the investigation under 174 CRPC, which we do, sir.
You know medico-legal cases?
Yes, sir.
Suppose if the pellets have been kept underneath the skin and there is a real gunshot injury, how are you going to distinguish between both?
Distinguish between, sir?
Between a case of where pellets have been kept underneath the skin
Yes, sir.
by making an incision,
Yes, sir.
and one where there is a real gunshot injury.
Sir, mostly in gunshot injuries, there are the entry wound and there is an exit wound. Sir, if
No, it's a gunshot, it's a pellet, gunshot injury.
yes, sir.
So pellets have, yes, the skin have gone inside the body.
Yes, sir.
And somebody, they have just made a fake case
Yes, sir.
where they have inserted certain pellets inside the body.
Yes, in the real gunshot injury, the area of the incision or the injury prone area, it would have physiological effects as well. Like there would be redness, the localized area would be swelled redness.
So this was two years back.
Yes, sir. So I believe a medical legal person, I think the entry wound The inspection of entry wound
There's
can
no
come
wound,
to the
2 years
conclusion.
have already passed. How will you distinguish?
So then,
Suppose I give 2 X-rays. What findings will you find differently in both the cases?
so there can be more localized injury. If a person has crafted it, it would be, sir, a normal incision, and there would be no injury to the closed tissues and or the bone underlying it.
So can you find out injury of soft tissue in the X-ray?
Sir, in X-ray only bones can be seen,
then-
but in CTs.
So where this question of soft injury now?
So there are other scans for it as well. CT
No,
scan.
I'm
and-
telling you X-ray I give.
So from X-ray it is difficult to monitor.
What will the spread of pellets in case of a real gun injury? What will the depth where they will go into different depths, different spread?
Yes,
But
sir.
in person who is inserting pellets, we cannot do that.
Yes, sir. It can be embedded in the bone and spread to different bones and tissues, sir, in a gunshot injury.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Alright, Gursimrat,
Yes, ma'am.
declamation.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you mean by that? I mean, what do you do?
Ma'am, declamation means reciting a speech to an audience on a particular topic, covering all the dimensions of it and concluding it in the end.
Any famous examples of declamation speeches?
Ma'am, I personally like the style of oration of APG Kalam.
Yeah.
And ma'am, also Martin Luther King, his speech is very
Which
famous. Ma'am, I have had a dream speech.
Yes, yes. Okay. What's your view on the COVID situation now, the pandemic?
Ma'am, there may be, as the virus has a tendency to mutate, so the new XE variant has come up already. The cases are rising in Mumbai and Delhi as well. So I think a new wave can be predicted in 1 or 2 months. But now, as of now, India is well prepared because we had our lessons in the previous waves, and our 60 to 70% population is has been vaccinated, and we are targeting other age groups as well.
Do you think it would be less harmful this time? I mean, the effect,
And
less
with-
vicious.
Yes, ma'am. With the vaccination, I think the severity would be less, but we need to be prepared with the social distancing and other norms.
Okay. Tell me something about the Beijing Winter Olympics this February. Did we participate?
I think there was a strike by some of the countries not to participate in the to counter the hegemony of China in that.
But did India participate?
I'm not aware if India. did
Yes, there
participate.
was one lone skier from Kashmir, no, Arif Khan.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Which country got the maximum medals? Who won?
Beijing Olympics.
The Winter Olympics.
I'm not aware.
Take a guess. Can be from Scandinavia. They're all snowbound. Norway.
I think Norway. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. You heard of the Uyghurs?
Yes, ma'am. They are in the Xinjiang region of China.
Tell
They're
me a
facing
little about
persecution.
them. What is the issue over there? Who are the Uyghurs?
And they belong to a Muslim community, and they are more prominent in the Xinjiang western region of the China. They are facing persecution, and they are in the camps. So, ma'am, there has been there are news that they are in discrimination by the Chinese government.
And there is also the allegation that they are committing genocide. no?
Genocide, yes, ma'am.
So there is a movement
Yes,
in the
ma'am.
West. Alright, you've heard of string of pearls?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you understand by it?
It's a foreign policy by the China. They are encirculating India and Asia by forming various ports.
Encircling.
Yes, ma'am. By forming various ports, especially in Myanmar, the Colombo in Sri Lanka, then in Pakistan and Iran, and right to till the Africa. So they are encircling through the ports, and economically they are providing the help to these countries.
What is India's response to this?
India is engaging by its foreign policy with the Quad, and also we reiterate a stand of free, open, and inclusive Indo-Pacific.
And what else are we doing?
Ma'am, Blue Dot Network and Sagar Initiative also. So we believe in security and growth of all in the region.
And we are engaging in the island states.
Yes, ma'am. We are engaging in Maldives, in
Yes.
Sri Lanka as well. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What do you mean by disruptive innovation?
Oh, ma'am, I'm not aware of the exact definition.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Dr. GURSIMRAT SINGH,
Yes, sir.
I attended a seminar where a doctor said that a good oral health is a prerequisite for good general health. And you can keep all other organs, important organs of the body healthy only if you have a good oral health. How does it work? He says he has scrutinized more than 25,000 research papers to say that.
Sir, I believe the oral cavity or the mouth buccal cavity is the starting point from where the virus can enter. So I think with good oral hygiene, if your mouth...
Sorry to interrupt you. It is
Yes, sir.
virus or bacteria?
Sir, any organism, any pathogen can enter.
Okay. Any type.
Yes.
Can be virus also.
Yes, virus can enter the host
Please go.
cell. Yes, the bacteria, virus or a parasite, it can enter. So the oral cavity with good oral hygiene, the person can be less vulnerable because the organism can transfer right from the oral cavity to the brain as well, to the lower, to the stomach, to the trachea. So I think,
How? What is the process?
sir, with the inhalation, like in TB also, the respiratory diseases,
One
we
is
inhale it.
inhalation,
Then ingestion also, the ingestion of sputum can be there, or the ingestion, the typhoid, the food diseases from the food, if we ingest the bacteria like salmonella. So I think a good oral hygiene is very important, sir.
So does it mean that brushing twice in 24 hours is better than brushing once?
Yes, sir, brushing the teeth twice after meals and before sleeping also, so it is very good.
Sleeping.
Yes, sir.
3 times.
The second would be before sleeping. Yes, sir.
Tell me, we have only 1.16 million doctors, out of which only 80% work. Others are, administrative positions. Now it comes to 0.68 doctor per 1,000 population.
Yes, sir.
And rural India, it is only 0.1.
Yes, sir.
So how do we take care of the rural India?
Sir, one innovative step would be, sir, encouraging the doctors to work. Sir, by incentivizing, that would be the first.
Give them more money.
Sir, incentivizing monetary as well, with better infrastructure, and also they can be motivated by rewarding on the social media. The doctors who are already working in rural sector, by rewarding them, I think the others would also get encouraged that we shall also work in rural areas. And with better infrastructure, I think the doctors can work.
I'm sure governments must have tried all this. But even then, it has not helped. We have only 0.1 for 1,000 population in
Sir,
rural areas.
The rural infrastructure has to be improved, and sir, we can also involve the Ayush courses, the traditional medicine.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
How does Ayush help the rural area? You mean the rural area should be treated as a second grade area where let the Ayush take care?
No, sir,
We
but
mean to say that.
no, sir. After the bridge course, they can provide basic primary health care because rural people are strong enough, and I think they require the basic primary health care. Then after that, if they require more, they can come to the secondary and tertiary centers. After the PHC and sub-center, they can come to the district hospital as well.
They can come to?
So the district hospital as well, if the requirement is more. But I think the PHCs has to be strengthened, the primary health centers and the sub-center, they have to be strengthened so that they get the basic primary health care at least.
No, I'm saying that most governments would have tried this, isn't it? It's not a new area. PHCs and CSCs are being constructed for more than 50 years now, 60 years. It was the initial beginning, but it has not helped.
So I think the infrastructure
Ayush might help to some extent, but out of Ayush, which one will be effective in rural areas of North India? Punjab का ही बताइए. Out of Ayush are several.
So homeopathy and Ayurveda are more
Homeopathy
common. Ayurveda, they are
Ayurveda.
more common systems
Okay,
which
help.
people know. Yes, sir.
Why then there is a variation in Andhra, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka having 1.4 doctors per 1,000 population, which is more than the national average,
Yes, sir.
and UP, Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Haryana having 4.1 to 2.26. Why this variation?
So I think the infrastructure is better in the southern states. So I think the states like UP, Bihar and Punjab, Haryana, they should also improve the infrastructure. And
If I say that southern states do better in almost all schemes, am I justified to say?
So in all schemes, it has to be seen, but on many indicators they may be better. But sir, the North Indian states like Punjab, Haryana, They are the good in agriculture, in food security. Sir, we also in culture as
Andhra
well.
is a wonderful state with agriculture, rice, tobacco.
Yes, sir.
Okay. But, what is the special position of Kerala
Yes, sir.
in, let us say, health indicators?
Sir, Kerala has a good literacy rate and their health infrastructure is good, sir.
No, health infrastructure, health indicators.
So I'm not aware of the
Literacy
particular
is not
stats.
a health one, that is education.
Yes, I'm not aware of the particular stats of the state, but they're doing good.
But you are aware that they have a very stabilized population in Kerala.
Yes, sir.
Why?
So I believe due to the good literacy rate, the contraceptive measures and the people are more aware there. So I think they have achieved the 2.0 fertility rate.
It is only 1/10 of the story. So thank you very much.
Thank you,
Okay,
sir.
right. So, Mr. GURSIMRAT, let me ask you a few more questions. There is the electoral bonds scheme
Yes, sir.
introduced by the government for financing of political parties.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me something about this scheme?
Yes, sir. So it was introduced by the government to finance the political parties with the bonds of from 1 lakh to 1 crore rupees, sir, by anonymous donations to the political parties, but through bank channels of State Bank of India.
So, when you say through bank channels, how can it be anonymous?
So the identifier is not known in the public, but
Yeah,
the
not
bank.
known in the public, but it's known to the bank. Is it not? It is known to the banks, only to the State Bank of India.
Yes, sir. It is just known to
So
them.
don't say anonymous,
Yes, sir.
because when you are making an online payment, you see, you have to buy a bond
Yes, sir.
from the State Bank of India, correct?
Yes, sir.
And therefore, when you buy it, say for 10 lakhs, you have to give all your details. You have to give your PAN, you have to give your DIN, everything has to be given, everything is available with the bank.
Yes, sir. But there are apprehensions
But
of
it is not
transparency.
open to, yes, it is not open to, it's
the
not
political
publicized.
parties, yes, sir.
right? Now, the Association for Democratic Reforms is opposed to this electoral bond scheme. They say that there should be transparency.
Yes, sir.
What is your view on this?
So in my understanding, I think the transparency can be increased so that the trust can be increased in the political.
No, how do you increase the transparency? Do you suggest that every person or organization which makes a donation, it should be published?
Sir, publishing it can't be the solution, but I think RTA, if someone is apprehensive that it is being misused, so
No,
I
how
think.
can it be misused? Point is, supposing you have donated 1 lakh or even 10,000
Yes, sir.
to a political party, do you want it to be publicized? Would you want that to be known to your neighbor or everybody कि मैंने आपको वोट दिया है, not to अकाली दल?
Sir, there is confidentiality, but I think if there is apprehension by a election commission, so I think that can be checked.
That they have done. The Supreme Court has already ordered that all these details of the electoral bonds purchase, they should be sent in a sealed cover to the Election Commission. That is an interim order, but the matter is still pending in the Supreme Court. Fair, chaliye. Now, the Armed Forces Special Powers Act.
Yes, sir.
It was in the news very recently.
Yes, sir.
Why was it in the news?
Sir, the central government reduced some of the disturbed areas in the northeast of
Correct.
areas of Assam, Manipur, and Nagaland. So
And,
I think,
and what was the reason which was given?
sir, the situation in some of the areas of districts in these northeast areas, it was
Obviously,
improved.
situation improved. There have been a number of accords which have been signed.
sir.
The militant groups, insurgent groups have come out into the
Yes, sir.
open. So that is the reason for that. Now, since you are aspiring for the police, in the Prakash Singh case, the Supreme Court had given certain guidelines on how a state DGP is to be selected.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me what it is?
Sir, the 3 list of officers has to be sent to the UPSC, and sir, they finalize the list, and the CM of the state then has to choose from that list of 3, finally selected by the UPSC.
No, the
He
state
selects.
sends only 3 names?
The state send a comprehensive
Panel,
list
yeah.
to the to the UPSC.
UPSC, correct.
And the UPSC on the basis of records and efficiency.
Yeah, okay, good,
Yes.
good. Okay, so we end your mock interview,
Yes.
and I'll give you feedback. Now, so far as what I told you on online also, that the questions will be coming from your DAF
Yes, sir.
and also from current affairs.
Yes, sir.
Right? And from your DAF, as I mentioned last time, you know, all these areas in which you have given here, Bhangra competition, basketball, declamation, listening to Punjabi songs.
Yes, sir.
These are all areas in which you should be fully prepared
Yes, sir.
to answer questions. ठीक है? Without any hesitation, you should be able to answer
Yes, sir.
on these issues. Current affairs is an area in which you must work hard.
Yes, sir.
अभी तो आपके पास खैर 2 मई को है आपका इंटरव्यू.
Yes, sir.
Current affairs is as you must improve your knowledge of what is happening around on
Yes,
a
sir.
daily basis.
Yes, sir.
तो उसमें एक ही चीज़ है कि आप अखबार रोज़ पढ़िए
Yes, sir.
और उसको कई बार देखिए, पढ़िए, समझिए एंड ट्राई टू कीप इट इन योर इनसाइड हियर सो दैट यू आर एबल टू रिस्पॉन्ड टू इट ड्यूरिंग द इंटरव्यू.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है. बाकी सब ठीक है. आप आर यू गोइंग टू स्पोर्ट अ बियर्ड फॉर द इंटरव्यू और
No, sir, I'll shave it, but I'll keep the mustache.
ठीक है. नहीं, दैट्स अप टू यू. आई एम जस्ट आस्किंग. तो बाकी सब आपका ठीक है. यू हैव गॉट अ गुड पर्सनैलिटी and for the police, but the only thing is that the more information you have, the better you will be able to respond to it.
Yes, sir.
You have appeared online interview.
Yes, sir.
Now you are coming person to person.
Yes, sir.
So just share with us, there was some problem with the communication there.
No, sir, it was fine, but I wanted to see more things like practically entering and leaving,
वो ठीक
the
है,
how to
बिल्कुल
set,
ठीक है.
Or you
how
wanted
to.
to interview us.
No, no, sir.
अच्छा. अजय, इसमें एक
I want to
ऐसा है
practice these things.
कि यूपीएससी में द रूम इज स्मॉल.
Okay,
ठीक
sir.
है. एंड पीपल आर सिटिंग आपके लेफ्ट साइड पे, राइट साइड पे, एंड तो इट्स वेरी क्लोज.
Yes, sir.
तो एक जनरल गाइडलाइन ये होनी चाहिए कि व्हेन यू एंटर
Yes, sir.
यू विल एड्रेस ओनली द चेयरमैन. जो चेयरमैन होता है, यू विल एड्रेस द चेयरमैन. इफ देयर इज अ लेडी मेंबर, you will address her also.
Okay.
But you do not say good morning sir, good afternoon sir. सबको नहीं कहना है.
Only chairperson and the lady member.
Chairperson sir and the lady member.
Okay, sir.
If she is there.
Yes.
नहीं तो you only address the chair
Yes.
and then you sit down.
Yes, sir.
Only after the chairman tells you to
Sit
take
down.
a seat.
Yes, sir.
When you go in, एक चीज़ ध्यान में रखिएगा कि देख लीजिएगा good afternoon है कि good evening है.
Yes, sir.
Don't get confused.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है.
So it's in forenoon session only.
हाँ,
sir.
आपका फोन में तो
afternoon
गुड
session,
मॉर्निंग है,
after-
आफ्टरनून है,
afternoon session,
तो
yes.
यू से गुड
Good
आफ्टरनून
afternoon,
है
yes,
ना. एक चीज़ ये हो गई आपकी. और दूसरा ये है कि लेफ्ट एंड राइट बिल्कुल मत देखिए. जो मेंबर बोर्ड का आपसे सवाल पूछ रहा है,
Yes, sir.
यू मेंटेन आई कांटेक्ट विद हिम, while the rest of the members will be judging you.
Yes, sir.
So you don't have to keep on looking. This is not a private sector meeting.
Yes,
It's a very formal interview. So that is the thing. ठीक
Yes,
है.
sir.
बाकी सब आपका अच्छा है. जितना नॉलेज आप एक्वायर कर लेंगे उतना अच्छा होगा आपका.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है. चलिए, विश यू ऑल द वेरी बेस्ट.
you, sir. Thank you,
गुड
ma'am.
लक. गुड लक.
Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to never miss an update.